Boy, it seems like it is so noisy over here. Hold on. Okay. All right. There we go. Good morning, y'all. It's High Priestess Jamila. I wanted to come and have a very important discussion. A very important discussion um, that clients may want to listen up to. And this is not in any way to be negative whatsoever, but it's something that I think that will really, really, really give y'all a lot of clarity. You know what I mean? And it should make you feel better about things. I know that there's a lot of yeah, craziness in on it. It's a lot of social media glamour, which is different from a glamour spell. It's a lot of social media glamour, which is not witchcraft, but I guess you could call it that. I wanted to talk to you guys about communication and messaging and me getting back with you if you contact me. Okay. Some of these cases that I'm working for you are very intense, and it is some very intense energies, especially those of you that are empathic and you're unpacking a lot. And then also, you are coming to me about certain things, your family, your man, yourself, your life, your job, and it can be really, really scary. It can be very scary. It can be very especially if you have never worked with a witch before, or if you've never gotten spiritual services. Okay. So and this is not in any way to because I'm going to say this quick disclaimer. It's one of the reasons why I am being stalked right now. It's the main reason why I am being stalked in social media every single day. Not It's not the complete and total reason. I think that there's some people who, instead of working out their issues, they're constantly projecting them to people. Seeing this a lot. People that have their own iniquities and their own problems, and they have to project it to somebody else. Again, that is mental illness. If you have some kind of problem or issue, it is factually a mental illness to another person who does not have that problem. That's not witchcraft. Again, okay, you can try to do energy work. We see them doing it all the time. People like really, and I've actually been hurt because of this before. People wanting to project their iniquities, their bad karma, their drug problems, their issues, their mental illnesses to other people because they don't want to go through the bad karma or the struggle of whatever it is. And that's not what witchcraft is for. In fact, if you come to me, you are essentially doing shadow work, because not just because I'm a witch within myself, But because I'm a Cancer sun, and I've also got water in all of the houses that's supposed to be. Pluto in my fourth house, Neptune in my eighth house, the sun in my ascending, and then the moon in my 12th house. So it's automatic shadow work that you're going to probably be doing. Okay. It just depends on what the shadow is telling you, especially if you are getting something like cleanses or either curse reversals, or we're doing past life work, which a lot of people don't realize that when you're doing curse reversals, a lot of witches don't realize that you're actually doing past life work on people. Okay. What I wanted to talk to you guys about, though, is first of all, I encourage communication from you guys, especially when it is a case that requires a lot of watch or either boosting, in particular during the first 3 to 6 months. So I encourage communication. I encourage it. And all of my clients that I have right now, you're fine. I want to let you know that you have done nothing wrong. Do not assume that you have done anything wrong. All of my current clients are good. But I wanted to let you guys know, for example, like if you send me a text message and I don't answer for a day or so, it is literally because I am busy not only doing your work, but then doing other people's work. So please do not take that as me ignoring you or you're getting on my nerves, because that's not what it is. And I think that the people that are currently stalking me, here's the deal with that: people wanting to text me all day, every day. That's not, no. If it's something to where it's important and I'm actually working on that case for you, because I'm going to tell you right now, straight up and down, I'm being stalked because somebody wanted more than what they paid me for. Somebody wanted help. They wanted me to work on their whole life, their past life, they everything. They wanted me to do everything, everything. They family problems, their husband problems, and all they paid for was a cleanse. And so that meant that they felt that they had the right to contact me all day, every day, consistently with text messages bombarding me, which turned into harassment. Okay. It turned into straight up harassment, and the person is still harassing me, been harassing me for 5 years in social media. Please do not let that confuse you at all. And I think that it's meant to be confusing. It's meant to be confusing. It's meant to be an attack. But this person knows that they paid me for a cleanse. A cleanse is very different than a generational bloodline curse reversal. It's very different from fix my entire situation. It's very different from fix my marriage with my abusive husband. Getting a cleanse does not mean that I'm responsible for your husband, your kids, your baby daddy, your everything. No, it does not. Now, I don't mind you guys contacting me saying, Jamila, I have a question, I have a concern, because again, what y'all are dealing with is difficult. And if I have time, I'll throw the cards for you and just shoot you a quick message if I have time. Okay. However, especially when it comes to the new moons and the full moons, but it's every single day. I am walking with spirit. And a lot of the times when I'm doing this work for y'all, like for example, it may be 3 days out of that week, I'm up all night, literally all night, which I'm working your case added with the other stuff, which the other stuff is not that bad, but I do want to let you guys know, and this is something that I wanted to reiterate on coffin work and things of that nature. When you end negative associations with people, that it is important to not check their social media, to not look at them. It's important to ignore them. Once you've done that work, it's important to ignore them. And I can see that a lot of people just don't get that. It's a lot of people that need to ignore people. Like if a stalker posts something about me in social media, I don't really want to hear about it. I don't particularly care about what they post, because you know what? If they post something, then that's me letting, and I'm reading it or I'm looking at it, that's them getting into my spirit, and I don't like that. Once the work has been done and we've called Valafor, or we've called to certain spirits that are meant to protect you from that person, there's no need for you to watch them. And so this is the reason why people like that have came up with new tactics. This is the reason why they SWAT and call defects. Again, this is the reason why they call you and they literally pretend to be police officers and defects workers while refusing to give a first name. So that should let you know that it's a fake call. If any government official can't give you their first name, then that's not actually that person. That's somebody playing around with it. Okay. So, that's the reason why they use those tactics, though, is because they want to get at you. They think it's a part of some kind of spiritual evolution that they're doing that. But in reality, it just means that they're weak. I mean, I've created a spiritual battle with you. And in order for me to win that spiritual battle, I've got to call CPS on you. That's not witchcraft. So we all know that. So there are some days when I am dealing with my own issues, but then also yours on top of it. And it requires for me to be in a place where I am busy. Like sometimes I will be working y'all cases. I'll literally be in the middle of ritual. To what they're doing with your case all the time, and you guys will text, and it's funny how that happens, and that's fine for you to do that. I want all of my clients to feel that they can communicate with me. It is very different than what I have experienced with someone that is literally trauma and iniquity dumping on me all day, every day. You're different. And then, especially a lot of y'all that have sent me I'm talking about 1,500, 800, 3,000, 5,000 for your cases. And a lot of y'all cases are very deep and connected to the gang stalking program that I can't really talk about publicly as to why that is happening. But I want you to be rest assured that everything is being done. If you are a victim of gang stalking, because gang stalking is very real, especially when you can see it and you can witness it, it's very real. Okay. And it's a reason for it. And please believe that we are dealing with the reason for that. And the reason for the gang stalking is actually, it would be very shocking. It would be very disappointing to a lot of you guys. And I'm not going to talk about that publicly as to where genuine and legitimate gang stalking comes from. And I'm sickened and I'm disgusted by it. Absolutely disgusting. And it has nothing to necessarily do with race. It has nothing to do with you being black. Because all races of people get gang stalked, can be gang stalked. So black, white doesn't really matter. Okay. As you know, just FYI. So there is a lot being done about that. There is a lot being done about that I cannot discuss right now. A few of my clients that are victim of gang stalking, when you call me and I cannot pick up, it is literally because I am busy working on, and I have to stay focused. I cannot sit and talk to you about the problems that you're having that I already know. You've already told me. I already know. Sitting and talking to you about it. In fact, I'm going to tell you something straight up and down. If I've been working with you for a few years on certain things and you're still talking about the same thing that we talked about initially, it's going to concern me because honestly, I don't always have to tell you what I have done on your case. In fact, I can't. In fact, I can't even speak about it on the phone that you're on. I can't even speak about it. And what I've done, I know should have worked for you. So that's when I know, okay, this person possibly is either seeing another spiritualist, thinking that that's going to make things better, or they are holding on to it, which a lot of y'all do. Y'all hold on to it. You hold on to the memory, which is not my problem or my fault. You are responsible for you. I'm not responsible for your entire existence because I didn't give birth to you. What I can do is I can connect you. Like, for example, if you have problems with your birth mother and your birth mother doesn't care, then I've already connected you to the cosmic mother as well as earthly spirits that I don't know if you're not paying attention to them or what it is. It's all been done for you. Okay, so I don't want you guys to think like this is what's very irritating about the spiritual community in social media is that a lot of them are fake, not authentic, and they're doing a lot of fake things, and it causes too much confusion, which is not serving our clients. It's not, and especially if you're paying attention to it. Okay, because that's essentially what those people want. They're mentally ill and they want attention. And of course, negative spirits, certain spirits will take advantage of people like that and use them. So then um that's what we call empty seaters. Pay no attention to the empty seaters. They do things that may be a little scary, but you know what? At the end of the day, there's always a way to eliminate those problems that they're trying to create. Okay, so it's gonna be all right. They're trying to be intimidating. They're trying to purposely do things, and it's ridiculous when in reality there's no help for them when they've when you have messed up with somebody like me. I don't know what to tell you because I can't do anything for you. I can't do anything for you when you've tried to take advantage of me, literally try to take advantage of me, and now you're stalking me. And so don't ever do that. I know that a lot of y'all wouldn't do that, but don't contend with that either. Please, please don't. Please don't. Okay. Whatever the situation is, you've been dealing with it prior to coming to me anyway. and I'm not saying this to any of my current clients. I wanted to reassure you guys that when you don't hear from me, something is happening. And that means that we're drawing closer and closer to certain deadlines on your cases and certain dates that Spirit is focusing on. And, I may be busy and I can't get back with you right away. So please do not ever think that I am ignoring you, especially if you're a very good client that you're just giving me updates, and I love my updates. I love my communication from you guys. So I'm not discouraging that. What I am doing right now is giving you guys clarity on that, because I've been kind of I've been really, really busy. I've been very busy the past 5 years essentially, but I've been like the past couple of days, I haven't been able to get back with you guys as quickly as I would want to. Okay. And so I apologize for that. Um, because what you're dealing with, and honestly, every single case that I have, there's going to be some kind of, especially it depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. As far as like a lot of you guys that are dealing with certain cases such as love work, uncrossing, right now, what we are doing, I can say this publicly, is protecting people from psychic attacks. So a lot of what you guys are experiencing is psychic attacks, which is typically coming from either an obsessive adversary, somebody that's playing around with frequencies, somebody that actually thinks that they're going to be able to just take you down, or and then we've got people out here mentally ill enough thinking that they're going to sacrifice people and their cats and dogs, and it's just ridiculous. It really is. It's all kinds of crazy. If we were not witches, that what would be the point of us practicing witchcraft if that was just gonna, fly in the grand scheme of things? So why worry about it? But something does have to be done about it. Okay, because it can be uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable when you're being psychically attacked by an adversary. Okay, so I totally understand that. We're working on that. We've actually done the work to lessen the psychic attacks. We've actually done that work. We actually did that work 3 months ago or 2 months ago. So when you come in under my standard protection, especially if you've gotten protection, you're protected from psychic attacks. You may have some built up residual stuck in your subconscious that you need to release, though, or either transmute. Transmuting something is when it's a negative thing that comes to you and it gets transmuted to positive. I'm gonna give y'all an example. I saw a movie yesterday. I watched Forrest Gump yesterday, y'all, and I forgot how good that movie was. It was a good movie. And you remember in the movie when Forrest Gump was a child and he was being chased by the bullies and he had his leg braces on and he could barely run. Well, guess what? While he was being chased by those bullies, his legs got stronger and he was actually able to run. So that's kind of transmuting. Doesn't mean that people should get bullied and harassed all the time. No, I don't agree with bullying. No, I do not. at all. No, I do not believe that it's character building, but there are some circumstances like what they described in that movie to where it was like literally he had to physically run and his legs got stronger and the leg braces came off, and ever since then he could walk and even run, you know. So if y'all ain't never seen Forrest Gump, or if y'all ain't seen it in a minute, it's a good movie. You know, and so of course, you know, we talked about during the earth sign readings how a lot of the earth signs are getting ready to have a very powerful breakthrough, and which means that of course you're transmuting, and of course there are certain adversaries that are looking at you and they don't want you to transmute it. They don't want you to have a breakthrough. They don't want that because they're mentally ill. That's called mental illness. A lot of you guys have adversaries that are mentally ill. Very mentally ill. As well as trying to play around with witchcraft and the Bible. It sucks, but it's the truth. It does. They're very mentally ill. Okay. They used to put mentally ill people, they used to put them in asylums for a reason. They used to give them lobotomies for a reason. Now, I'm not saying that I believe in being cruel to human beings, but you know, it's it's kind of like I feel that you're an irresponsible adult when you are just like, first of all, your mental illness of obsession and being able to stay focused so that you can stalk somebody and harass somebody, that's not a superpower. You're just mentally ill. That's literally how I feel about it. So some of y'all adversaries that we're dealing with, it is that, and it doesn't mean that mentally ill people or mentally challenged people just, it's very annoying when you know you're feeling like every damn day is a struggle and you're struggling every day to ground yourself. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to struggle every day to ground yourself. That if you're in the middle of somebody stalking you and harassing you and we can see it, it's not, you know, it's not like it's not real because we see it. We can see it. We can see it and we can even hear them sometimes saying, like literally, like they can't even hide it. They're saying what they're up to. It's so bizarre. And they'll say, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. So it's oh goodness. So, you know, but a lot of you guys, your adversaries are very real because they're powerful enough to gang stalk you and psychically attack you, not using trolling. Like my clients' enemies that are attacking them, they don't need to go to your social media and post a stupid comment. They don't need to do a video about you. They don't need to. They don't need to look at your social media at all. They can look at a photograph of you and decide to attack you psychically. But they don't need that. So that's why I be like, I got bigger fish to fry. I got things to deal with. And it's dealt with because even though somebody powerful, they can still be mentally ill and crazy. Having the power to do something doesn't mean that you're not mentally ill, especially when it comes to, you know, attacking somebody. It's like, okay, come on. I got to attack you forever the rest of your life. And I got to do, and it's like, no, honey, you need to go see a therapist. That like literally, I'm a witch and I believe in the power of therapy. Okay. So, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. So anywho, therapy is supposed to make you better. It's not supposed to make you worse. You're supposed to, you know, oh, I've got an obsession with this person. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And or either an obsession with an idea. There are some people that became obsessed with the idea of being able to dump their crap onto other people, which is essentially destiny swapping. I get to dump my crap, whether or not it's through one person or several. They got obsessed with that idea. They're doing the same thing. It's not doing them any good. It's destroying their lives, but they're still doing it. Now, I do believe in getting retribution, and I do believe in justice, getting justice when someone has done harm to you. Yeah, but to just say, oh, I'm going to choose that person to dump my crap off on, no. And that is happening a lot to the empaths. And they don't want you to have protection. They don't. Okay. But you do. You do have protection. Okay. So, if you come and get it, if you come and get the protection, and they're obsessed with an idea that they are some kind of damn hierarchy, or they running things. And that's another example of mental illness. There are some people that are literally obsessed with an idea of being a 10,000-year-old dead person who's just dead. But in reality, if somebody was to roll up on them and chop their head off, they'd be in the local obituaries. So, I mean, you're not some dead person. There's some people that are trying to act like they're actually dead. Like, I'm already dead. And I'm here to be the boogeyman for you. And it's like, no, you're a flesh and blood person. It's called obsessed with an idea. Now, do I believe in reincarnation? Mm-hmm. I do. I believe in reincarnation. I believe that some people walking around here are people that they wouldn't even believe is the person. Let's just put it like that. But is and do I believe in beings that are immortal? Yep. Would an immortal being actually need to be a psychic vampire or a parasite? No. No, that wouldn't be the requirement. It wouldn't be, yeah, no, no. It wouldn't be. An immortal being would more than likely just be living a normal life, living their best life, or at least trying to. Okay. But anyway, so I do have a lot of outlandish, eccentric beliefs, but I think that there is a very thin line between that and insanity. And insanity is what it is. It's mental illness. And I do believe in mental illness. And I believe that there is a distinct difference between mental illness and witchcraft and magic. If you got problems and you freaking out every single day and you don't like yourself and you got self-hate and you got to project it to somebody else every damn day, that's called mental illness, hon. Wake up. Okay. So, but just FYI, I've had wonderful clients, you know what I'm saying? Like, since then, you know what I'm saying? But just FYI, if I don't get back with you, don't get nervous. If I don't get back with you immediately, give me some time, because I am processing it and I am seriously working on your stuff, especially with house cleansings. Y'all know I can do house cleansings from all the way over here. I don't have to be in your house to do a house cleansing. I can do a house cleansing wherever I'm at. Okay. If I need to clear a bad spirit out of your house, there's a few steps that I take to do that. I'm not going to give away my secrets of how I clear out bad spirits from houses, because it's my secret that I can keep to myself. Then it is what it is. Okay. I've got, court cases that I'm working right now, in particular landlords who are doing spiritual work on their tenants. It's weird. I don't know what the hell else you want from somebody besides the rent that they pay. I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on. Okay, so, and you know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. And trust me, the whole landlord thing is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It really is. It's terrible. Very similar to what I went through, which is why my mother didn't like renting. She was like, I couldn't rent. My mother said it's too many vampires out here. My mother hated renting houses. She said, always own your own property. Don't ever rent because you never know. You may be renting a house from a vampire. And that's the truth. So, or just a demonic evil person, that is mentally ill, So, anywho, that's pretty much what I wanted to say to you guys, okay? Um, Everybody knows that I am relocating. It's nobody's business as to when, but I can tell you straight up and down that it is not necessarily a easy feat. Moving an entire spiritual business is not exactly easy. There has to be things that are done previously and prior. But I'm just going to tell y'all straight up and down, I'm not going to change my life because of stalkers on the internet. Somebody suggested, well, when you get back to Kansas City, maybe not say anything. Why should I have to move around like I'm some prisoner? I'm not going to do that. In fact, mentally ill people are not going to change my life at all. No way, Jose. You're not going to do that. No. Okay. Not going to happen. So, but and the mentally ill stalkers are just going to have to accept that you cannot shut down a spiritual business. You're an idiot. You're very idiotic. You're an idiotic fool. You cannot shut down somebody's spiritual business. You're stupid for even trying to do that. And denial is not going to help you. Saying, oh, she's just crazy. Well, funny how I've been able to prove to the Internal Revenue Service, and I have a book of clients 10 years consistently that outnumber the stalkers. My clients outnumber you. So, anywho. That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's some people that they want to be connected to spirits so bad, but they're not. They're not. Sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I don't believe you're connected to spirit. I don't. If you were, you wouldn't be doing the things that you're doing. You may be connected to a spirit in a sense to where you're possessed and now you're a gang stalker. That's crazy. I'm not going to get into gang stalking and why it is and where it comes from. I'm not going to get into it. But the reason would shock a lot of you guys. The reason gang stalking even exists would shock y'all. It would, like, it's disgusting. It is. It's disgusting to say the least. But does that mean that you don't have to do something to deal with the overzealous gang stalkers who are shooting for the stars and, to harass you? No, you still got to do something about it. And that's what we do. I'd say out of thousands of clients and people that I've done readings for and spiritual work for in the past decade, to only have two that were gang stalkers, I'd say I'm doing pretty damn good. I literally have two throughout history. So, that's actually a very good track record. In fact, I don't have a problem getting payment processors. I've literally only had two chargebacks that were actually authentic in the past 10 years in the history of my company. I've had two. Now, the other one, just recently, when she found out that I'm going back to get my Etsy, she tried to do a chargeback recently. I put it in spam. You're sick. You need to go get some mental help and stop stalking and harassing high priestesses and witches. Doesn't matter if we're Black or Native American. You don't have the right to do that. People look at you with disgust. You just don't know it because you're mentally ill. Yeah, when I stated that I was going back to Etsy, this person tried to do a chargeback for some work literally I've already done for her. So I don't do refunds. And so this person just is sick, mentally ill, because I would not allow her to harass me daily via text message. I would not allow her. She was contacting me way too much every day with a bunch of drama and things that do not serve me or her, because she's not even with the same man anymore. It's like, you're not even with the same dude anymore. What are you like? That was the original reason why I quit messing with her, is because she just kept texting me all day about problems that she was not paying me for. I mind the business that pays me. And if you can't respect that, get out of my face then. If you can't respect it, go away. You can't expect me to fix everything for $300. She paid me $360 for a cleanse and wanted me to deal with her husband, her mother-in-law, her baby daddy, her childhood enemies, and her entire history of her soul. And I'm like, what the hell? She wasn't even ever a student. I'm like, what are you doing? Anyway, yeah. And that's not what I'm here for anyway, for you to trauma and iniquity dump on me. No, I'm not. I don't care what you think. You know what I mean? It's crazy. People are insane and disrespectful. That's not my problem. You being insane and mentally ill and crazy and disrespectful is not my problem. It's not. It's That's your problem to deal with. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I wanted to reassure people that if you've left me a voice message, if you've tried to contact me ever at any point that I've worked with you, just know that it is because I am doing the work that you're paying me for. Like, the work is being done, and then I'm also dealing with other stuff. And it's not necessarily problems. It's not necessarily that. It's just that, like, for example, I had to do some healing work. I had a family emergency that I don't have to come on here and explain that to everybody. I had an emergency that I had to deal with from a distance, which, um, and, you know, so You know, us witches, we sometimes have to deal with our loved ones, our family, the people that we're close to, you know? So, yeah. Anywho, that's pretty much it that I wanted to say. Okay, in the meantime, oh, one other thing I wanted to say. One other thing I wanted to say. Please don't ever think that the BS that goes on anytime in social media ever bothers me. I'll be all off somewhere on something else. If I felt the need to address it, I addressed it. Otherwise, every single day, I am minding the business that pays me, as well as dealing with my family, my kids, my grandbabies, is what I'm doing in my life, just like anybody else. Okay. All right, child. That's pretty much it. I got to go. I still don't understand why people are posting things about me in social media. My clients would never watch you. I think that there's some people that think that my clients watch them. Hey, Unicali. No, they don't. My clients do not watch you, nor will they see you, nor do they care about you. They care about the spiritual work that they're having done. That's what they care about. They don't care if you say they don't exist. My clients are still going to exist regardless if you say they exist or not. Because you know, when hating becomes a mental illness, goodness gracious, I think they call that Othello syndrome. And I'm not afraid of nobody. That's a fact. I ain't never been afraid of nobody. I ain't never been afraid of people threatening me or none of that crap. Bye. You know what I mean? Anyhow. All right, y'all. Y'all have a happy Tuesday, though. Okay. All right. Blessings to y'all. Love you guys. Bye.